Hey guys, it's Vanessa and welcome back to my channel. So I've had several of you request a tutorial on how I've put together this altered book, Traveler's Notebook for Revival Camp. So I've got a little process video here for you. First you'll need to start with the book. This is an old book I purchased from the library, and you're just going to go in with an X-Acto knife and very carefully cut out the inside. I will just reuse this in some scrapbooking or in home decor. And then to cover the title, I'm going to go in with some coordinating washi and just cover up the outside spine here. Now, since this is going to be a traveler's notebook and it is going to have some weight bearing down on this spine, I'm just going to go in and reinforce that with some extra cardstock. With that in, I'm going to start reaching for the inside cover. So I've got this rainbow sheet here. I'm just roughly laying it down and I'm just snipping where I need to go in and cut. You can most definitely go in and measure. I just eyeball it and hope for the best. So I'm just going to go in and trim off the excess here. And since this is an older book, I'm going to go in and actually score where I need to mark for the spine. I just didn't want any of it to kind of pulling, if it didn't get into those corners and crevices. I didn't want it pulling and damaging the spine. If you have a newer book, you probably could just skip this step. So I'm just taking my ruler since I don't have the proper tools, and I'm just bending that and just creating like a mini book out of this paper. Now before I attach this, I'm going to go ahead and trim off the excess, and then I'm going to add a pocket. So if you want any kind of pockets to the front or the back of your traveler's notebook, now is the time to kind of design and lay that out. Once again, I'm just laying down my pocket onto this piece of paper just to kind of eyeball where I want this to go, and I'm just going to snip once again and then take that to my paper trimmer. If you want to add any embellishments to the pocket, now would be the time to start sewing and attaching that down. I'm actually going to be using inexpensive sewing machine measuring tape. It's just going to be a little place for my paper clips and so forth to attach. You could definitely take some ribbon or some tape like this and make some little loops and sleeves for some pencils and pens. That would have been really cute. So I'm just going to attach the measuring tape to my pocket and then my pocket to my paper, and then I'm ready to start attaching that to my book. So I'm just going to go in with some more Mod Podge and start attaching that down. Now I'm just going to do this a section at a time. I want to make sure that this doesn't dry too quickly and not adhere properly. So I'm just going to go in with my front inside cover and then go in with my spine. Once again, I just want to make sure I get all of those corners and crevices really worked into that spine so it's not pulling and tearing. So I'm going to take my little ruler in here and just smooth all of that out. Once I feel pretty good about it, I'm going to continue with the back side there. While I have that glue out, I'm going to go ahead and start Mod Podging. Such a hard word. I'm going to start gluing down the washi. Since I'm going to be punching some eyelet holes in the spine of this, I want to make sure that that's really good and down. So now I'm just going to take 4 eyelets and a punch, and I'm just going to put 2 at the top and 2 at the bottom, and this will create 2 little elastic sleeves for my traveler's notebook or my paper layouts or whatever you choose to put in there. So I'm just taking this very inexpensive thin elastic that I picked up from Walmart, and I'm just going to start weaving that from the inside to the outside, loop it around that. I'll show you here that if you want to add any kind of embellishment, like a button or so forth, now's the time to kind of decide on that. You can definitely go in later with a jewelry clasp and whatever embellishment you want. I probably won't do that since it's an older book. I don't want to add any extra weight other than how I'm working through the devotionals. So once again, just weaving that in and out, and then I'm just going to tie this off here at the top. And then I have 2 little inserts for my Revival Camp travels. So now comes the fun part of decorating. I went with just a hodgepodge. We had the Mod Podge and the hodgepodge of alphas. So I'm definitely just going to go in. I love the look of using different alphas. And so I create my title, and then I'm just going to go in with different embellishments. Just keep in mind, if you have an older book, sometimes it will like rip and tear. So if you are using an older book, kind of be sure of your embellishments before you start attaching them down. So when I have the outside done here, I'm going to give you a little peek at the inside and how I've added my paper clips and just some fun embellishments on the inside. And then I'm just going to use this pocket for my Revival Camp and other little goodies. And there you go. I hope you guys enjoy this video.